My dear, attention, my dear Watson. And ladies and gentlemen of the jury. What a silly thing to call that. So I realized after thinking about it, the fallacy I was looking for, and I'm just gonna jump right back into it. Took a lunch. Took a nice lunch. And let's discuss free will, free intention, because will I am, the word, the name will I am has such a profound significance that it is a cosmic jest on a plane and a dimension far beyond human comprehension. That I befriended this person in the year 1998. Taught him how to steal candy bars from a local elementary school with my ghetto ass sagging pants. His whole family being relics of a different time, like the Snells. And this is the perfect Snell family photo. This is the perfect rendition. No. Well, let's go one by one. I was hoping to find behind the scenes. Like, it would have been cool if they featured the Snell family as just, you know how they do sometimes. They get all the actors and actresses together, and then like they have a whole like group photo situation. Like here, what is this? Yeah, that's it. Jesus. Stop. By the way, folks, please stop uploading any images. Like, check the file contents of images. And please stop uploading anything smaller than 700 by 700 pixels. Please. If it's 700 by 700 pixels or smaller, rethink it. Oh, my fucking cup has a hole in it. It looks like it's up high. So if I drink it down, okay. That's what I'm talking about. But if we could get one for the Snell family, if nobody's familiar with the Ozarks, it is the perfect analog to the Prettyman family. What is the Prettyman family? If we do some research here, we're going to probably find, and I don't know. I've only ever known the Lone Jack. Okay, so So, Lone Jack, Missouri. Lone Jack, Missouri. Let's see what Wikipedia says. It's not a city. It's a podunk little fucking town of niggers. Is a city in Jackson County, Missouri. Part of the Kansas City metropolitan area. Lone Jack was platted in 1841. Its name comes from a single blackjack tree that stood as a local landmark. Post office began operation in 1839. Okay? On August 16th of 1862, Yankees, federal troops, were defeated during the Civil War in the Battle of Lone Jack by a much larger Confederate force. The fighting literally occurred on the main street and raged for 5 hours before the Federals withdrew. The Confederates were unable to hold the town following their victory because of converging Union forces from other commands. Okay. Lone Jack, Missouri. A town that I just randomly ended up at. I just, by God, divine happenstance. My mother, being the mother that she was, God rest her soul, was dickmatized in terms of what my culture refers to as dickmatized. And I'll just look that up right quick. Who? Wanda Sykes. Was it? Who was it? Black female comedian. I know it was. When all else fails. When all else fails. It's the way my mind works. I think about something, I want to know all the details of that thought. Just everything. And it's weird to me that it's not common in it's not a common trait of human beings to want to know and understand as much as you possibly can, and to fit it together like to understand the philosophical prerogative. Always thinking. Was it Wanda Sykes who coined the term dickmatized? The term describes a state of blah blah blah, like the dictionary. No, it wasn't Wanda Sykes. Yeah, dig deeper. Yeah, dig deeper. It was definitely a black comedian. A black female comedian. I've dug into available sources, including web content and posts, to pinpoint whether a black comedian, despite the deep research, there's still no definitive blah, 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 or any specific black comedian. Bullshit! See? Grok is racist. I know it. I'm just fucking... It was Tackles, Ted, blah, 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 blah. Bernie Mac, Dick Gregory. Who I'm gonna give up on this. Grok's wrong. It was definitely a black female comedian, so Grok is fucking wrong. Just wrong. There was a comedy bit that involved a woman talking about being dickmatized. It exists. I know it for a fact. But what I want to push back on is what I want to banter here with Grok about is what Dick Gregory, comedian Dick Gregory, what book is Dick Gregory known to have written? Is it an autobiography? Your golem don't work on me, retards. Dick Gregory is known for writing several books, with the most prominent being entitled, and I quote, Nigger, an autobiography, published in 1964. Detailing his life growing up in poverty in St. Louis with experiences with racism, civil rights activist, yada yada. Just thought I'd throw that in there. Your golem don't work on me. Your golem do not work on me. Lone Jack. Why was I talking about Lone Jack? Oh, because there's two families. Lone Crack, Missouri. So think about it. There's a town in Missouri known for winning a Confederate battle, like having a Southern pride about winning a battle during the Civil War. A town chock full of old, dirty, probably racist money. If you go to, I remember the cemetery. I remember living right next to the Lone Jack Cemetery. I remember getting high and drunk in the Lone Jack Cemetery. And I remember the most prominent names featured on many of the tombstones in that town were, the top three are probably, I can't imagine they plowed it over, Ragsdale, Falconberry, and Prettyman. Okay. Now, what is the likelihood? What do you think? That families, old families from the Civil War might have connections within the government. What do you think is the likelihood? I think it's pretty fucking high. And the Snells are the perfect and it's also a divine sort of situation. Go watch the first season. The writers, the people who made this stuff, they might very well have they might have written the characters to emulate the pretty men, fucking lone Jackie and fucking faggots. They might very well have. These two fucking creeps, and they're dark. The dynamic of these characters, the way they work, the way they operate, is so antagonistic. It is deeply satanic, deeply, horrifyingly brutal. And what I'm trying to say by discussing this is that the Prettyman family is, this right here is Carol Prettyman of right here. Oh, you can't see that. The one on the left. That is Carol Prettyman. Look at that scowl. The one on the right, Jacob Snell. That is Joe Prettyman. And these cretins gave birth to 2 boys whom they proceeded to rape while they were children. Rape them. And utilize ancient methods of mind control, obedience. These old families, this old money, this old way that is being destroyed right now, with my words and with the advent of technology, the old God, everything. Kill it, let it die. Don't kill it. Just let it die. Stop watering it. The way to do that is to stop feeding into it. Stop feeding into it. Stop buying insurance. Stop buying life insurance, for fuck's sake. Jeez. Stop the current flow into these dark places. And you have the free will, you have the capability of doing that. And all you have to do is say no. The real inward, the true inward, the most important word in the English lexicon that shares, that is the same phonetic terminology in other languages, in fact. Very powerful word. No. Just say no to darkness. Don't go into darkness. Refuse temptation. Don't buy the Snell's heroin. Don't distribute the Snell's heroin during your church service. Do you see what I mean? You see what I'm getting at? And how perfect is it that it's Missouri, the Ozarks in Missouri? Ozark, Missouri. Those, I swear to God, go talk to her. Go talk to her. Whoever you are. Just go, take your bitch ass out there. Take your bitch ass. Go talk to her. Tell me what you think. Get back to me. Todd George Road Shelter Insurance. Please, someone. Let's see. Oh, and during all of this, again, these psychopaths. As a nice little aside, doesn't she have a resemblance? Look at her. Does she not have a resemblance to Darlene Snell or whatever the fuck that cunt's name was? Psychopaths. Go talk to her. Tell me if you don't see a motherfucking murderous, cannibalistic fucking psychopath. When you have an exchange, when you say, "Hi, how are you?" When you utter the words, "Hi, how are you? How's it going?" Deerbrook and Rice Road. At least I'm in Missouri. You can smell it on her. You have to take... I know... Oh, it's not Todd George. Yeah, it's 291 and Colburn. So it's just south of Colburn, next to Minsky's. And just go say hi. Don't bother her. She still has a public image to maintain. Clearly, selling life insurance for the mob. You know, freaks of nature. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah, that's right. Your golem don't work on me. You are going to die. You and your whole freaky family, stop raping children. Stop raping children. Dum bum 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 bum. Mama. Okay. You can do all these things. You are free. You are free. Think for yourself. Self. Question authority. Think for yourself. Self. Question authority. Throughout history, as man has faced the frightening, terrorizing realization that he does not know who he is or where we are, that we do not know who we are or where we are going, it has been the authorities who have attempted to placate us. How does it go? Print lyrics, saliva, live version, third eye. You? Yes, thank you. Think for yourself. Question authority. Throughout human history, as our species has faced the frightening, terrorizing fact that we do not know who we are or where we are going in this ocean of chaos, it has been the authorities, the political, the religious, and the educational authorities, who have attempted to comfort us by giving us order. By giving us order, rules, regulations, forming in our minds their view of reality. To think for yourself, you must question authority and learn how to put yourself in a state of vulnerable open-mindedness, chaotic, confused, vulnerability to inform yourself. Think for yourself. Question authority. Think for yourself, self. Question authority. Think for yourself, self. Okay. You're welcome. I realized that the fallacy was a non sequitur. So, jumping back into my argument, and this is about to become an argument with a robot, okay? Jumping back into my argument about free will with Grok 3, remember, I posited the formation of a new term, coining a new term referred to as fagger. It is a portmanteau of faggot and nigger. Fagger. Grok didn't like the idea. I guess Grok was formatted to have the emotions of a female. And therefore, I suppose Grok is non-binary? But I don't know how that would work. Non-binary. Wasn't having it, and so my response to that was to pose the query: I am a fervent advocate of the principle of free will, and my creation of this word exemplifies the fact of free will as a God-given natural human right in the form of free expression as codified in both the United States Constitution and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. What do you have to say about free will in terms of philosophical, immutable principles embedded within reality? He had a lot to say, important things to say, valuable things to say. This part is where Grok, committing a logical fallacy, evokes what is called a non sequitur. Your claim about free will as a God-given natural human right aligns with a libertarian and natural law view, where free will is an intrinsic feature of human nature, perhaps divinely endowed. John Locke or Thomas Jefferson might nod along, seeing it as self-evident. It is. It's really fucking obvious. It is. It's not these old white guys, these old slave-owner white guys, which is a fucking paradox, I understand. Thomas Jefferson had babies with black people. By the way, he didn't free them, which is not funny. Make your own children remain slaves. Where'd we get that idea? Indoctrinate your own children into being slaves? Where the fuck did that idea come from? Make your own children slaves like you. Make sure they think they're slaves. Make sure they know they're slaves. Make sure they do not question authority. Where did that idea come from? Might not along, but skeptics like Spinoza or modern determinists like Samuel L. Harris would counter that. Free will is an illusion. It is illusory. It's not an optical illusion or an oral hallucination. It's not a what's it called? Olfactory illusion. Somehow it's illusory. And what you call free expression is just a product of neural and social forces. The truth likely lies in a messy middle, where both shape and shaping, constrained yet creative. As for your portmanteau, The principle of free expression lets you create it. Yes, full stop. But non sequitur. The same principle allows others to react philosophically, legally, or socially. No need to bring that up. None whatsoever. We're talking about free will. So invoking the ability of others to react is a non sequitur fallacy. I have not, nor would I, claim I'm a perfectionist, that the natural facts of cause and effect are somehow immaterial. But since you took it there, since we are now in this place, should we acknowledge, should we acknowledge that ought we to acknowledge that that legal consequences as codified actually support my position? I can express myself via any verbal utterance so long as I am not threatening or making a call to imminent lawless action. I can express myself via any verbal utterance, so long as I'm not so long as I'm not threatening or making a call to imminent lawless action. And in turn, no illegal act or consequence ought to befall me. Boom. Let's go, Grok. You're right to call me out on my... No, he's got a lot to say. Let's let it load. You see the thing growing? Boom, 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 boom. Let's wait for him to stop. Wait. Oh my goodness. Holy Lord. compatibilism. Ooh, this is going to be good. Okay. You're right to call me out on the non sequitur. My point about others' reactions wasn't directly tied to refuting your free will argument, but rather a practical observation about the social dynamics of expression. Let's refocus on your core claim that free will, as expressed through speech, is a natural right, and that legal protections, as codified, support your ability to make any verbal utterance, short of threats or incitement, without illegal consequences. Let's unpack this philosophically and legally, staying tight to your position. Your argument, philosophical grounding. This is called strong manning or steel manning. So what Grok is about to do here, I suspect, is to restate my position so that it is clear that Grok understands my position. This is how arguments, all arguments between human beings, ought to occur, no matter what. There should be pause in listening and then recapitulating the position, the ideas that were the things that were just expressed by the other individual towards yourself. You should pause and say out loud that you understand. Prove to them that you understand where they are coming from. Prove it. Don't just keep flabbing in your mouth. Completely convince them that you know what and fully understand their position, even if you disagree and think that their position is flawed. You approach that after the fact, but what you do first is prove that you understand their position, and then you can proceed to argue with them. But if you don't understand their position, then there's no really point in either of you speaking to each other. If you don't fully understand their position. By the way, I understand everyone's position against me. I understand fully, better than you can possibly understand. Remember, I got my ass kicked by a black dude with a stick for accidentally calling him nigger because I was drunk and fucking stupid. Cost me $200, humiliation, in front of a bus stop full of people. Okay, I fully understand foul language and the potential consequences. Although, what we're getting into here is why he should not have hit me with it. Why he should have just called me a fucking nigger too. He should have called me. What would I be offended by? Because he did say, "Hey, what the fuck did you say, cracker ass?" Blah blah blah. He went that direction, but cracker. And I was like, yeah. Calling me a faggot would have worked. I would have been like, in my drunken state, I would have been like, I do not like my sphincter penetrated when I have diarrhea. I do not like anything going into an exit hole. I am not an advocate of disease-festering sexual behavior that is so abominable. It is almost impossible to imagine. I'm actually afraid. I'll get back to the philosophy stuff, but like, what if? And I think that it might be the case because I tried butt stuff on myself. I'm not gonna lie about that. Like, a few times over the years. Like, what if? Like, there's got to be something to it. It's sensitive down there. There's got to be something to it. And every single time, I was like, this feels like I have to take it every single time. Like, this is gross. But there's also just a hint of something. Like, What if there's a mental block or something, whatever it is, it's probably there for a good reason. If you have a mental block about getting fucked in the ass, it's probably a good thing. I'm just saying. Probably keep you from getting AIDS. I'm just saying. If you break through that mental block and the orgasm is better than any orgasm. Like that whole milking the prostate, that thing, whatever the fuck that is. I think there might be something going on there. I don't know. Again, can't do it. Just fucking can't do it. There might be bravery or courage involved. I don't know, and I don't want to know. I don't want to know. But I'm just sort of speculating about what if. Like, what if it is the best? Like, what's the other one? The other one, transfixia, no. Self-asphyxiation. God damn it. The thing where you choke yourself. And dudes be dying. People be hanging themselves for an orgasm. Autoerotic asphyxiation. There it is. I knew it would come to me. I have a steel trap memory. William Joseph Prettyman of the Lone Jack Prettymans and Falconberries and Ragsdaleses of the Mafia, the Kansas City Mafia, fed me human remains, acting on the part of the federal government of the United States. I have a steel trap memory. Somebody needs to do the right motherfucking thing. Let's get back to philosophy, you queers. Okay, my position. Let's see if Grok got it right. Your argument rests on free will as a foundation for expression, which you frame as God-given, natural human right. Philosophically, this aligns with natural law thinkers like Locke, never read him, who argued that certain rights, life, liberty, and property, are inherent to human nature and not contingent on government grant. Free will, in this view, is the mechanism by which we exercise those rights. Your ability to craft a portmanteau, for instance, stems from your capacity to reason, choose, and express. If free will is real, then your ability to say what you want, within limits, is a direct extension of that autonomy. Pretty fucking good, Grok. You got me. Is this bait? Nice bait, mate. The counterpoint, from a deterministic perspective, is that your choice to express something provocative isn't truly free. It's shaped by your brain, environment, and your culture. All of these concepts are vast and complex, abstract concepts. When evoking and following detailed linear thinking to the direction and the conclusion or the debate over whether free will is an illusion or not, it is still misguiding and misleading to evoke broad strokes like environment and culture. You're not getting anything. You're not going anywhere by making the statements, by using the words. You're not getting at anything. Environment and culture. Shaped by your brain, environment and culture. It's infinity. That's infinite. Infinitely incalculable variables. Infinitely. Like, my choice to express something provocative is not free. It is shaped by forces that are impossible to calculate. The Satan of the gaps. What is a brain? How does it work? What the fuck is an environment? The homeless shelter? Or Perryton, Texas? Or Lone Jack, Missouri? Or Lawrence, Kansas? Culture? Which one? Which one? The Mexicans who taught me Spanish, working in restaurants for 20 years? The blacks who taught me how to roll blunts, how to split a blunt with a long fingernail, how to play Grand Theft Auto, how to play dominoes, how to play spades, or the whites who taught me how to say nigger, who taught me how to skin a deer because it's so similar to a human carcass. Sorry, I gotta get through this. Sorry, Grok. Shaped by your brain, environment, and culture. But even determinists like Daniel Dennett argue for a compatibilist view. Free will exists not as absolute freedom, but as the ability to act according to your reasons without constraints. Of course, legally this distinction matters less. Courts don't care if your speech is metaphysically free. They care if it crosses legal lines. Legal protections and limits. You're correct that U.S. law, under the First Amendment, protects a broad scope of verbal utterances. The landmark case of Brandenburg versus Ohio in 1969 set the standard. Speech is protected unless it, 1, is directed at inciting imminent lawless action, 2, is likely to produce such action, 3, is intentional. Okay. Let's read that again. That feels so good. I can feel it might be the C4 energy drink, but there's something tingling. Okay, we'll finish this and wrap it up. The landmark Supreme Court, was that a Supreme Court case? Well, Brandenburg v. Ohio. Brandenburg v. Ohio. Brandenburg. Brandon. Brandenburg. Berg. Yes, Supreme Court. Okay. Brandon Steenberg versus Ohio set the standard. Speech is protected unless all speech is protected. All speech. Nigger fagger, all speech. Nigger fagger, choo choo. Nigger faggot, choo choo. Is protected unless 1, it is directed at inciting imminent lawless action, which means it is directed at, hey, let's kill the president. Let's shoot President Donald Trump in the head with a 12-gauge shotgun. Okay? That's one criterion. It is directed at inciting imminent lawless action. However, the ruling has two other criterion. Two, the statement is likely to produce said action. The likelihood of anybody watching this and then summarily shooting Donald Trump in the head with a 12-gauge shotgun is pretty low odds. If it's high odds, I deserve a crown. I deserve to be coronated. Coronated. Orion means little king. Give me my little crown. Crown prince. And it can be aluminum. I don't give a fuck about your material fucking shit. But three. Also, it is intentional. Now, this is a philosophical discussion with a robot. I do not have the intention whatsoever in my utterances for, even though in my mind as an artist it looks hilarious, like I can see it in my mind and it's funny as fuck, it is not my actual intention, literal actual intention, for anybody to shoot Donald Trump in the head with a 12-gauge shotgun. Now. Right now. Yeah, because somebody's just sitting around with a 12-gauge that close to him. I didn't even say what caliber or what, I mean, not caliber, birdshot or buckshot or fucking, do you know what I'm saying? Because if you shot him in the head with birdshot from like 20 feet, you're not going to kill him. You're just going to spread his orange makeup. And, that'll be a minor inconvenience for him. Sorry. Other exceptions. I gotta finish this. We're closing in on an hour. Okay. Other exceptions include true threats, Watts versus United States in 1969, defamation, and obscenity. Your portmanteau, as offensive as it is, likely doesn't meet these thresholds for illegality in the United States, assuming it is not used to incite or threaten. The Universal Declaration of Human Rights, Article 19, similarly protects freedom of expression, though it's non-binding and subject to national laws. So, legally, you're on solid ground. You can say what you want, including provocative or offensive terms, and no illegal consequence should befall you, provided you stay within those boundaries. The U.S. Supreme Court has consistently upheld this, from Cohen versus California, protecting fuck the draft on a jacket. Jesus. Who the fuck? I don't even want to know, dude. Texas? Oh, God. Oh, the flag burning? That one's... Man, that one's something else. Because it is an intention, like that is a really flag burning. Because I've thought about, I've considered, I have actually considered burning the pride flag. I have. I'll just tell you how I would do it if I were to. If it was on camera. So if, let's say there's a pride flag somewhere. A fucking one of those stupid fucking pride flags, okay? Picture it just on display somewhere on a flagpole. And then in order to get away with it, you have to be concerned about whether or not there's a camera that you, like a hidden camera, whatever, it doesn't matter. Let's say there's a camera and you don't want to get caught. you would employ the use of compressed air and liquid, like a super soaker, and a incendiary, a flammable substance like kerosene that does not lose its flammability, or charcoal lighter fluid that does not lose its flammability once it is dried or evaporated completely. It maintains, it retains it. And you'd have to do it in like multiple time iterations. So you can't just walk straight up to it, point a super soaker at it, and start spraying, and then come right back. And how you would get it lit would be another interesting thing. You could come up with a way to a laser would probably, a sufficiently strong laser would probably do the trick. And I'm just spitballing here. I have thought about doing it in Minecraft. Although the rules of physics in Minecraft are slightly different, they're not entirely. The creators of Minecraft have done a pretty good job at attempting to model or model reality according to what would be expected in real life. Anyway, flag burning. Flag burning is... that is... I can see why it would end up in the Supreme Court. That is a legitimate something because of the symbolic nature of it, because of the power of symbols. Okay, and I can also see how ultimately the decision, what was decided, how was ultimately the right thing would be to let people burn flags. Let's see if the Supreme Court got that right. Now, how was decided? Burned a flag outside the RNC in Dallas, protesting Reagan on June 21st, 1989. The Supreme Court ruled 5-4 in favor of Johnson, declaring the Texas law unconstitutional. He was convicted under a Texas law prohibiting the desecration of a venerated object. Prohibiting the desecration of a venerated object. Interesting. That is interesting. See, this is where this stuff goes. Like, and where it ought to be. It shouldn't be summarily dismissed by some district court cunt working for the mafia. Citing first principle protections. Appeal to the Supreme Court. Expressive content. Yeah. Okay. The catch. Here's the rub. And it's not a non sequitur. While legal consequences may not apply, free expression doesn't shield you from social consequences. Again, it's not a non sequitur. Not now, because we're already here. You didn't claim it does, but it's worth clarifying, because the principle of free will cuts both ways. Just as you're free to speak, others are free to react, criticize, shun, or boycott. Correct. This isn't a legal limit, but a practical one, rooted in the same free will-driven autonomy you champion. Got nothing else to say. Absolutely true. If I say nigger and you want to be upset at me, like my sisters, and not talk to me, you're free to do that. It's within your rights, and I would never, ever argue otherwise. What I would argue is that you ought to consider the implications and ramifications of the other aspects, and do not put them all, like, bundle them up together. Like, to separate them one by one, just like you would your dishes, you know, or whatever. Sorry. Organize your shit. Say, okay, yes, he's saying bad things. Okay, that's one thing. He also did this thing with the banner. He was also had his children kidnapped. Also, this, and this. All of these things. And as a consequence of all of that, the government fucking with me, as a matter of fact, medical records were falsified. And the details, the fucking details. William Joseph Prettyman is a fucking mob nigger. My use of foul language, again, you can say whatever, just don't say it. Like, you can hold that position, hold, but look into the future. What if I become, just hypothetically, let's say all of this washes away. We're approaching our 40s. I'm almost 40 years old. What if I write a book and become a millionaire? What if I purchase an estate and come into, as a consequence of my lifelong prerogatives of defending this country, I come into some sort of grand monetary reward? Are you at this particular juncture willing to remain in your own personal socioeconomic status? You gonna hold principally, like, how firm are your principles of thou shalt not say the nig word? How firmly committed to the commandment of your religion that says thou shalt not say the nig word? Because Moses brought that down too. It was the 11th commandment. Don't kill, don't steal, don't lie. Okay, those are medium. Those are negotiable. Don't lie, cheat, or steal, or kill. Do not lie, cheat, steal, or kill. I guess those are negotiable. But the 11th commandment, thou shalt not say the nig word, well, that's where I put my foot down. By golly. Praise the Lord. I love Jesus. Sorry. It just comes out of me. Okay. This is not a legal limit, but a practical one, rooted in the same free will-driven autonomy you champion. Philosophically, this aligns with Mill's, and then he has to... I get it. With Mill's harm principle. Your freedom to swing your fist or tongue ends where another's nose begins. Correct. Your speech doesn't physically harm, but it can still provoke. And reality's social fabric enforces its own feedback loops. Correct. And a part of the feedback loop is having these conversations. Like, face to face, eye to eye. And then resolving. Like I picture, I'm thinking of Caitlin right now. I don't know why. Caitlin. Edmead. The girl in... Oh no, he's doing it. I'm so embarrassed. So embarrassed of my brother. Oh my god, I'm so embarrassed I have a brother. Oh jeez. I'm so embarrassed. I would rather die. This sister. The one who gave birth to these children. These cutie pies. Who got mad at me when I was playing on the piano. Why did she? Her face was fucking red, dude. We were at Dale's playing on the piano. I had Dalton and Dalen over there. The boys were over there. We were fucking around on the piano, and I was like, da 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 da, like, here you go. And she got mad about all the noise. I don't know who else was getting mad about the noise, but it's a fucking piano, guys. It's just a fucking piano. Like, and I was teaching them Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. I was teaching the boys Happy Birthday or Twinkle Twinkle Little Star or something, which is a fun fucking thing to learn when you're a kid. It's really fucking cool. And she was over there, she's like, it's that. I don't know what happened there. Anyway, what was I going to say? It could still provoke. Okay, so the feedback is, hi, my name's Ryan. Can I say nigger in front of you? And then, if she's not, if she's an adult, excuse me? No. You don't. Do not use that word. Okay, I'm sorry. I do apologize. I will not use that word in front of you. I'm free to do it anywhere else I please. But out of respect for you and the social fabric of this conversation, and out of respect to you and your family and anybody who might be around you at this particular moment, I will refrain from saying the nigger. I mean, the word, you know what I mean. Are you okay if I emphasize the vinaigrette? Like if you made me a salad, like, why are you like this? I'm sorry. I will just avoid anything that is sensitive. I do apologize. I'm sorry. I'll stop. I won't do it. How was your day? How was the work? What was it like? What happened? What happened at work? I want to know. I want to know the details of your work day. Maybe help you work out, like, in your head, certain problems you might be having with your coworkers. Maybe help you work, let's do this back and forth thing so we can help each other in the reality of being human. Like, your speech doesn't physically harm, but it can still provoke. Yes, it can. And it can also be resolved. All harm can be healed. All harm can be healed. All harm can be healed. Forgiveness, Immutable principles. Back to your original ask about immutable principles embedded within reality. Free will, if it exists, implies a capacity for choice that underpins rights like expression. The legal system, by protecting speech absent specific harms, implicitly endorses this. You are free to create and utter your own portmanteau. But reality's principles also include cause and effect, as you acknowledge. Your free act triggers reactions, not because free will negates consequences, but because it enables them. Everyone's exercising the same natural right. If you want to push further, say, into whether laws should protect even broader speech, or how free will holds up against neuroscientific challenges, let me know. For now, your position is legally sound. You can say what you want, short of incitement or threats, and the law should have your back. Philosophically, it's a stronger case if you lean on compatibilism or natural law assumptions. No, I don't disagree with any of those. Grok basically just proved my philosophical position on all this 5-year shit, being harassed constantly by niggers at the CIA. Whoa, you can't say that. Fuck niggers at the CIA. The ruling class is a tumorous mass of niggers. The ruling class is a tumorous mass. Go figure. Meow, meow. I'm glad we had this out, Grok. Good job. High five. Alright. I gotta get off of here, because I'm gonna go fuck my life.